You see, what happened to you, MacG, was what I call a psychosocial warfare. So when the system comes for you, they really will come for you. They'll tarnish your name.
Which they have.
They'll tarnish they'll put a photo of you that makes you look very ugly.
Yeah.
They'll make you
They did that, so they don't do that.
Yeah.
You know what was crazy? You know what they'll do, right? They'd go, they'd write an article and say, Tweeps are angry at MacG podcast for saying something, right?
Yeah.
And they go to a tweet. Now, in that tweet, underneath, if you read it, there's about 100 comments. Let's just say 100 comments. 90 of them are positive, but they'll focus on the 10. Yeah. And then the headline becomes Tweeps hate the podcast because of X, Y, and Z.
Exactly what they do.
You know what I mean?
See, and the reason why they can do that is because they're well-funded. If you take the Daily Maverick, for instance, recently there was all this thing about them being funded by the CIA, okay? But they're also funded by the Oppenheimers. They're also funded by Rupert's. They're also funded by Wendy Applebaum, the 3 wealthiest families in South Africa today. Most people don't know that. They receive hundreds of millions every year, the Daily Maverick. And they can produce such a product because of this amount of funding. So funding is the key over here. News 24 is the old National Party. And I mean, they've got Naspers, which has got the investment in Tencent. They can spend tens of billions. I mean, look at this issue with Ramaphosa and the, what do you call this, the Palapala. All of us know this guy from Sudan was complete bullshit, right? I mean, come on. What guy from Sudan comes the day before Christmas to go and buy, what do you call this, bulls?
And Courtleys.
It's bullshit. That's what it is, right? But if you look at how News 24 ran this thing about this guy with his Gucci clothes in Dubai and his Gucci wife, I mean, they created fake news. But because they've got so much money and power, they can...
The most important person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs.